I want you to imagine this for a moment. It's early morning. You swing your legs out of bed, place your feet on the floor, and suddenly realize it's not as easy to stand up as it used to be. Not because you're lazy, but because your legs feel weaker, slower, maybe even a little shaky. Have you ever felt that way? I've met so many patients who came to my clinic feeling just like that. They'd say, "Doctor, I'm eating fine. I still walk every day, but I just feel weaker, like I'm fading." And after we run some simple tests, it turns out they aren't getting old too fast. Their bodies are just missing a few key nutrients, the ones that quietly keep our muscles strong, our balance steady, and our steps confident. Vitamin D, the light for your muscles and balance. I like to call vitamin D the light of the body, not just because you get it from sunlight, but because it truly brings light to your muscles, literally and figuratively. A study from Harvard University found that older adults with healthy vitamin D levels reduced their risk of falling by nearly 20%. It might not sound like much until you've seen what one bad fall can do. If you've ever watched a friend or loved one break a hip, you know that 20% is priceless. I remember one of my patients, Ellen, 72 years old, living in Oregon, where sunlight is a rare visitor. She often felt unsteady sometimes, wobbling just standing in her kitchen. When we tested her blood, her vitamin D levels were half the healthy range. So we started her on a small daily dose, just 2,000 IU of vitamin D3, and I asked her to spend 15 minutes outside each morning, even when it was cloudy. 6 weeks later, she came back smiling. "Doctor, it's like my legs woke up again." That smile, calm, relieved, proud, was the smile of someone who had taken back control of her own body. What most people don't realize is this vitamin D doesn't just strengthen bones. It activates receptors inside your muscle fibers, helping your muscles contract, stabilize, and move with coordination. Without enough vitamin D, your body is like a machine running on low power, sluggish, weak, unstable. So if you live in a place with little sunlight, talk to your doctor about taking vitamin D3. Just 1,000 torn to 2,000 IU a day can make a real difference not only in how you move, but in how alive you feel. Magnesium, the mineral of muscle relaxation. Here's something most people don't realize sometimes when your muscles ache or cramp at night. It's not because you overwork them. It's because your body doesn't have enough magnesium, the mineral that allows your muscles to let go after they tighten. One of my patients, George, 68, told me, "Doc, I wake up every night with leg cramps so bad I have to jump out of bed." We checked his magnesium levels, they were low. I suggested he start supplementing. 3 weeks later, he came back and said I slept like a baby, doc. For the first time in years, I'm not afraid to fall asleep. Magnesium is like the conductor of your muscular orchestra. When it's present, everything flows in rhythm, smooth, effortless. When it's missing, the music becomes chaotic. You feel it in the tightness of your back, the tension in your legs, the dull ache after a simple day. Many people think that's just getting older, but it's not. It's something we can fix. You can get magnesium naturally from leafy greens, nuts, whole grains, or supplements like magnesium glycinate, which is easy on your stomach. About 320, 420 milligrams a day is enough to restore balance. And trust me, your body will thank you for it. Because here's what I've learned after decades of seeing patients. No muscle can be truly strong unless it also knows how to relax. Just like people, real strength isn't about staying tense or rigid. It's about knowing how to rest, recover, and rise again. Creatine, the secret to strength and independence. Let's talk about creatine. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that what bodybuilders use? But the truth is, creatine is one of the body's quiet secrets to staying young. It's something your muscles naturally produce. But with every passing decade, your supply slowly fades away. I remember one of my patients, Jack, 74 years old. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I'm not afraid of getting old. I'm afraid of needing someone to help me stand up from a chair." And I told him, "Jack, maybe your body isn't weak because of age. Maybe it's because your muscles are running low on creatine." You see, creatine gives your muscles instant energy, the kind you need to stand up, climb the stairs, or stop yourself from falling. It also wakes up what we call satellite cells, your body's muscle repair team, helping your muscles rebuild faster and stronger. In one major study of adults over 60, those who took creatine for 12 weeks along with light resistance exercise gained 14% more strength and nearly 2 pounds of lean muscle. That might sound small, but at that age, most people are losing muscle, not gaining it. I've seen the same thing in my own patients. Once they start adding just 3 to 5 grams of creatine a day, along with gentle walking or light weights, something beautiful happens. They get up from chairs more easily, walk more confidently, and perhaps most importantly, they start to trust their bodies again. I often tell them creatine doesn't just make you stronger. It helps you keep your independence. Because losing muscle at its core isn't just about losing strength, it's about losing freedom. When I share these things, I'm not speaking as a salesman for supplements. I'm speaking as someone who's watched countless patients regain confidence in their bodies simply by nourishing them the right way. The body never betrays you. It's always waiting for you to listen and give it what it needs, light, relaxation, and energy. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, take a moment to look down at your legs. Ask yourself, what have I done today to help them stay strong? Because your legs don't just carry you through life. They carry your freedom, your dignity, and your vitality. And if you found this message helpful, share it with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, maybe your spouse. Because sometimes it only takes one small change, one vitamin, one new habit to help us keep our legs strong and our lives steady. Part 2. Keeping the brain muscles and heart in sync. Have you ever felt like your legs weren't quite listening to your brain anymore? As if your mind says walk, but your body hesitates half a beat behind. I've seen that look of confusion in many patients' eyes. They can't explain it. They just feel like they're slowly losing connection with their own body. And often the quiet culprit behind that disconnection is vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12, the connection between brain and muscle. Think of vitamin B12 as the communication wire between your brain and your muscles. It keeps your nerve signals running smoothly, so every step, every reach, every small motion happens with control and confidence. But when your body runs low on B12, those wires start to fray. You might notice shaky hands, unsteady steps, or unexplained weakness. I remember Linda, one of my patients, a 69-year-old former dance teacher. She told me, "Doctor, I eat well, but sometimes my hands shake so much I can barely hold a glass of water." When we checked her levels, her B12 was barely one-third of normal. She was taking metformin for diabetes, a medication that, like stomach acid reducers, quietly blocks B12 absorption over time. After 2 months of taking methyl B12 under the tongue, she returned to my office, held my hand, and said, "I'm not just steadier, doc. My mind feels clearer too. I feel awake again." That moment reminded me sometimes what we call aging is really just a nutritional miscommunication. So if you're on medications like metformin statins or acid blockers, check your B12 levels. A tiny change can make a massive difference in how you move, think, and feel. Coenzyme Q10, the power engine inside every cell. Now let's talk about coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10. I call it the battery pack of your body. Every single cell in your body has tiny power plants called mitochondria, and CoQ10 is the fuel that keeps them running. Without enough of it, your body still moves, but slower, weaker, and with less spark. After age 50, your natural CoQ10 levels can drop by 60 to 65%. And if you take cholesterol-lowering statins, those levels dip even lower because while statins protect your heart, they also block the pathway that produces CoQ10. One of my patients, Richard 71, loved gardening, but told me, "Doc, I get tired so quickly now. I can't even finish trimming the hedges." He'd been on statins for 10 years. I suggested he try 200 milliliters of CoQ10 daily. 3 weeks later, he came back smiling and said, "I don't feel younger, but I feel alive again." That's what CoQ10 does. It's not magic, it's restoration. It gives energy back to the cells that have quietly run on empty for years. So if you often feel drained, your heart races climbing stairs, or your muscles recover slowly after movement, your CoQ10 tank might be running low. And once you refill it, you'll notice everything just runs smoother again. Vitamin C, the hidden shield for your muscles and collagen. You know, sometimes what keeps our bodies strong isn't raw power, it's flexibility. And vitamin C is that quiet hero holding everything together. Your tendons, ligaments, muscle fibers, even your skin. I often tell my patients collagen is the frame of your house. Vitamin C is the builder. Without vitamin C, your body simply can't make collagen. That means your connective tissues start to weaken, recovery slows down, and your muscles feel more tired than they should. People who are low in vitamin C often tell me they feel sore. More easily, their wounds heal slower, or their skin looks thinner. But you don't need giant supplement tablets to fix that. Start simple with fresh oranges, red bell peppers, broccoli, or even a liposomal vitamin C if you want better absorption. One of my patients started adding just one smoothie every morning, kiwi and strawberries. 2 months later, she said to me, I feel younger, not because my skin looks better, but because I feel stronger inside. That's the power of the simple things. Protein, omega-3, the forgotten duo. There's something that always worries me most. Older adults don't eat enough protein. They're afraid of meat, afraid of cholesterol, afraid that too much will upset their stomach. But they forget one thing: your body needs protein to rebuild itself, every cell, every fiber, every heartbeat. I like to ask, if you want to repair a house, don't you need bricks and mortar? Your body works the same way. Protein is the material, and omega-3 is the protective coating, reducing inflammation and helping your muscles grow stronger. A simple breakfast with eggs, Greek yogurt, and a slice of salmon can trigger muscle synthesis more effectively than most supplements ever could. That meal isn't just food, it's a message to your body: I'm still taking care of you. I'm still choosing to live strong. Sleep and gentle movement, the overlooked foundation. And finally, the two things people underestimate the most: sleep and movement. You can take every vitamin in the world, but if you're not sleeping well, your body never gets the chance to heal. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, the key to rebuilding muscle and connective tissue. And when you pair that with 15-20 minutes of gentle walking or light resistance training each day, your body's recovery response nearly doubles. One of my favorite patients, Maria, who's 75, once told me, I'm no longer afraid of going to bed because I know that when I wake up, I'll be just a little stronger than yesterday. I think that's a spirit worth learning from, no matter how old we are. As we grow older, our bodies don't betray us. They just ask for a little more care, a little more patience, a bit of sunlight, a few good nutrients, a restful night's sleep, and a few mindful steps each day. We may not go back to being 30 again, but we can live at 60 with the freedom and vitality of a 30-year-old heart. So if you're hearing this today, remember this: it's never too late to reconnect. The mind, the muscles, and the heart. If this video helped you in any way, share it with someone you care about. Because sometimes something as small as a B12 supplement or one night of deeper sleep can help a person stand taller, think clearer, and truly live each day. Part 3. When the body needs to be heard, not just taken care of. I've met so many people who try everything to take care of their bodies. They take vitamins, eat clean, buy expensive massage devices, and yet they still feel tired, achy, and somehow not themselves anymore. And I often ask one simple question: how many hours of sleep are you getting these days? Most of them go quiet. Some smile and say, I don't sleep as deeply anymore. I wake up a few times at night, but I guess that's just aging, right, doctor? No. That's not aging. That's your body calling for help. Sleep and gentle movement, the most overlooked foundation. Sleep is the body's natural laboratory. While you rest, millions of cells are silently at work, repairing muscles, releasing growth hormones, clearing toxins from your brain, and resetting your immune system. When you lose that deep restorative sleep, no amount of supplements or superfoods can make up for it. I've seen it hundreds of times. One of my patients, a 68-year-old man, told me, I take magnesium, calcium, even collagen, but every morning my back still aches and my legs feel heavy. I asked him about his sleep. He said maybe 4 hours, but I've gotten used to it. I looked at him and said, no, your body never gets used to lack of sleep. It just learns to suffer quietly. After that, I taught him to slow down before bed, just 5 minutes of deep breathing, turning off the blue light from his phone, and listening to soft, slow music that matches his heartbeat. 3 weeks later, he came back, no more sleeping pills, no more muscle aches. He smiled and said, Doctor, I'm not just sleeping again. I actually want to go for a walk in the morning. And that brings us to the second part of this foundation: gentle movement. A lot of people believe that exercising after 60 is dangerous, but the real danger is stopping. Your body is like a flowing stream. If the water stops moving, it stagnates and starts to decay. The same happens to your muscles. When you stop moving, blood flow slows, muscles lose nourishment, and regeneration shuts down. You don't need to run marathons. Just walk for 15 minutes, use light resistance bands, or simply stand up and sit down a few times during the day. That's your body's gentle wake-up call. A Harvard study found that adults over 65 who stay active for just 20 minutes a day are 30% more likely to remain independent in daily life after 5 years. But more important than that number is the feeling of still being in control of your own life. I once asked a 74-year-old woman in my senior fitness program, "What keeps you showing up every week for the past 2 years?" She laughed and said, "Because I want to open my own pickle jar." A simple answer, but it says everything: independence, freedom, and the pride of still being in charge of your life. Regular checkups, the first step to keeping muscle. Now let's talk about one last piece: routine checkups. Many people assume that if they eat well, they don't need any tests. But the truth is, after age 50, your body doesn't absorb nutrients the same way it used to. You might eat enough, but not absorb enough. I once met a 63-year-old woman, petite, mindful eater, practiced yoga every day. Yet she always felt weak and dizzy, thinking it was just lack of sleep. After testing, we found she was severely deficient in vitamin D, B12, and iron. We adjusted her diet and added gentle supplementation, and just 1 month later, she told me, "Now I understand. I didn't need more. I just needed what was right." That's what I want you to remember. Don't guess. Don't follow what everyone else says. "Oh, everyone needs this," or "everyone's low on that." Every body is its own unique symphony. And if you want yours to play in harmony, you have to listen through real numbers, real tests every 6 to 12 months. A single blood test today can save you years of fatigue and muscle loss later. That's not just medicine, it's the art of living wisely. You know, a lot of people think keeping muscle strong is about looking younger or fitter. But after 30 years in medicine, I've learned this: muscle strength isn't about appearance, it's about dignity. When your legs are steady, you walk with confidence. When your arms are strong, you can pour your own coffee, open your own door, and hug your grandchild tight. And when you can still do those things, you're still independent, still free, still fully alive. So think of these nutrients and habits not as anti-aging secrets, but as your quiet bodyguards helping you live kindly and gracefully in the body you have. Because health isn't just the absence of illness, it's waking up every morning with enough energy to live a day that matters. And if you're 50, 60, or even 70, I want you to remember this: your body is still listening to you every single day. Treat it with patience, kindness, and a little love. Because as I always tell my patients, age doesn't take away your strength, only neglect does.